What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. And guess what? It is Nintendo Direct speculation time. We can all power up, get ready to go, because this one, man, are they trying hard to be believable. But we have some actual substance behind this whole next Nintendo Direct thing. My boy, Jeff Grubb, the Grubster over there on Twitter. You guys saw him over there on the Spawncast with the crew. And you know what? He is back with a very accurate track record of when he predicts things. And it does seem like that next Nintendo Direct, Nintendo event, Nintendo Partner Mini, Nintendo Super Direct, Nintendo not so super direct because of all the different world circumstances. I mean, we don't know what it's going to be called or what they're going to do. Nintendo is always a little bit, just a tad bit unpredictable, but there is some new information that's out there. And of course, set with that teal or whatever, that light purple or blue or whatever background it is of 4chan, with some actual, I would say predictions, or I would say leaks. You never know what to call these things, but they spring up so much. But the most believable one yet so far, because it's not like filled with like Luigi's Mansion 10 and Golden Sun 15, not all these like weird, crazy posts. That has sprung up with Jeffrey Grubb also saying a couple different things here, man. So you know what? We're going to go over a couple things. What is believable? What is not? Is this going to be happening? And of course, what I've heard. Now, I did make a video recently in the past week or so about August Nintendo Direct rumors. This video is a bit, I would say, different from that one, because now Jeffrey Grubb has came out and said something. So the timing of it obviously is different, and some of the dates and stuff. And obviously this new thing that has sprung up with what this person's saying, of course, that anonymous post, which is so funny because every now and then one of those anonymous posts is completely correct, and it's cool to see who made a video on that post and who didn't. So let's go and get into what Jeffrey Grubb had to say here first, and then we'll talk about this post and what games and what's going to be announced and what it all entails. So shout outs to my dude Jeffrey Grubb, man. He's out there putting in that work. He states that there will be a Nintendo Direct, or there will be some type of Nintendo presentation that the company will share between August 11th to the 22nd. So sometime between then and that span of the 11 days, there will be something from Nintendo. Now, once again, Jeff Grubb over there from VentureBeat, he's been spot on with a lot of Nintendo Direct predictions this year. He's getting some info early. He's definitely got a number of things right. So that's essentially what he's saying over there on Twitter. So we can go on Nintendo Direct watch at that point to that point, right? Now, if you see right here, you guys can actually check out his list. Make sure you guys go follow him on Twitter. He calls it Jeff Grubb's Summer Game Mess, which he's been doing for a while, and he's been nailing a number of different things back when he started detailing when Microsoft and Sony are going to have their events and certain stuff like that. So it's interesting to see now he's putting it for that. But what I want to get into next, man, and this is the kicker. This is the kicker, man. Like I said, usually these 4chan posts or these anonymous posts are pretty crazy with their leaks and all of that. But this one, a little bit toned down, a little bit more believable. Now, this one's very interesting. So this post is that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct, or there's going to be a Direct, okay, on August 17th. Now, this is the note that he wants to make clear, this anonymous poster. I want to make clear that I don't have all the details. I don't know whether if this is a mini or a regular Direct, as I've only been made aware of a few games that will appear. So anticipated games like Bayonetta 3, Pikmin, or the rumored Mario collection were never mentioned to me, so I don't know if they'll appear in this Direct or not. So let's go ahead and start off what he has to say here. Sports Story by Sidebar Games will get a trailer. Whether or not it gets a release date, you'll have to find out. So Sports Story is already a game that's been detailed before, I think like in an indie Direct or whatever, and we've been waiting for it. So obviously that's believable that Nintendo could put that type of game in like a smaller presentation, Nintendo Direct Mini or Partner Showcase or whatever the case is, right? Now, the next thing that he says here, a new game by Square Enix that will release exclusively for the Nintendo Switch will be shown. It is called Zatada, and no information is provided on that. Now, I've done a little bit of research into this. Now, I've never heard that name, but I did hear that Square Enix is looking to do like that AA type of game for the Nintendo Switch. So think of the size of an Octopath Traveler, not the graphical direction of an Octopath Traveler, but the size of that type of game, mid-sized game for the Nintendo Switch, because they've been killing it on that platform. Obviously, Octopath Traveler did extremely well, and most of Square Enix's ports and most of their games actually do very well on the Nintendo Switch platform, so I would not be surprised if there was some type of Square Enix exclusive on the Nintendo Switch. Now, whether it's going to be called Zatada or what it is, or if it takes form, or even if we hear about it this year, that remains to be seen. Now, next up is a seemingly new Nintendo IP co-developed by Nintendo EAD and Frontier Developments is being revealed. The most information I have on this game is that it involves amusement parks, no confirmed release date. So maybe that's going to be happening. So a new IP from Nintendo, would it be like a Nintendo Land type of situation? I know Nintendo's getting into the amusement park, type of thing with their real life Nintendo World or Nintendo Land. So maybe there's something to that, maybe there isn't. Now, next up, Nintendo Switch Online speculation here. So Nintendo Switch Online isn't adding any new library of games, but something that seems like a new reward system that involves missions. So is that going to be their own form of achievements finally coming? I know Nintendo's been very against that in the past. Do we get more like gold coins? Like, how are they going to be doing that with the Nintendo Switch Online? They've been pretty slow to add new games to the Super Nintendo and NES, so it's believable that they're not going to be adding new things. I mean, that's one thing that Nintendo hasn't done, is really have a steady flow of those classic games on the Nintendo Switch Online app. So that makes sense, and for them to maybe add something a little bit different for the 3rd anniversary or whatever of it, maybe that's going to be coming through. Now, there are a number of other games that he does have to say here, guys. I'm going to go over those. So Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville is being ported over to Nintendo Switch and released the same day on the eShop. So this is something that I have heard that EA will be doing on the Nintendo Switch, is Plants vs. Zombies. So once again, believable in my perspective. Super Mario 3D World will be getting a deluxe port release. New content will include new levels tied to a bonus stage. There are supposed to be new character, though I have no information on who the character or characters will be. Once again, this seems believable with the other rumors that we've gotten. And if you look at what Nintendo did with like New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, they did add some new stuff, new characters and everything. So yeah, that's very believable that there would be new stages and some new characters added into Super Mario 3D World. Next up is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicle Remastered Edition will get a trailer and an August release window. So yeah, that seems believable as well. We already know. Challenger Pack 7 for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate will be teased. The most I can give is that this is not a first-party character. So that would be exciting because we've gotten multiple like first-party characters, right? We've been kind of rolling on the first-party character train with Byleth and then also with Min Min as well. So it'd be pretty cool to see a third-party character. And once again, we know that this is a thing, right? With Super Smash Brothers and third-party characters and kind of what's going on with Super Smash Bros. Fighters Pass Volume 2 or Season 2. So that makes sense that Super Smash Bros. Gets another character reveal, or at least a tease at this point. Next up is the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will make an appearance as a trailer. Zelda is apparently playable. The most I have for the release date is May 2021, but it may be subject to change. So once again, that seems like kind of like, okay, maybe this isn't as believable, but it's something that people have speculated from when we very first saw that trailer of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the sequel, back in 2019 at E3. People were saying, yo, Zelda might be playable because of just how the trailer was set up. Now, how long she'll be playable and what you'll be able to do with her, I mean, it could be something as small as just like one segment where you're walking through with her, right? Or something like that, or maybe the very beginning. But we don't know if it's a complete playable adventure with her. I would guess if Nintendo did it, it would be certain segments that you can use Princess Zelda, but we'll have to wait and see for that one. Obviously, some people might just say, no, that's never going to happen, since we really haven't had that happen in a mainline Zelda game before. But we're going to have to wait and see, like I said, and that would be exciting. I think that would add a whole new wrinkle into the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild style gameplay if you could use Princess Zelda. So I'd be down for it, but we'll have to wait and see if that even happens. Now, probably the most unbelievable thing on this list is coming up right here, and that is a Metroid spin-off is being revealed. No Metroid 4 announcements or updates looks like. Well, that's believable about no Metroid Prime 4 updates, but a Metroid spin-off being revealed. So what do they mean by spin-off? So not a 2D Metroid. It's a Metroid game that doesn't play like a 2D Metroid or a 3D Metroid, so it's a spin-off from what we normally get. That's what a spin-off is. So I don't know what this is trying to say with this whole spin-off thing. Metroid Prime Pinball? Does Metroid Prime Pinball come back? I'd be completely down for a new Metroid Prime Pinball. I was just talking about that game recently on my stream. So maybe Metroid Prime Pinball comes back or something like that. So we're gonna have to wait and see on all of this, guys. My general thoughts is that this person is trying like super hard to, you know, get certain things, not be so crazy unbelievable, but also at the same time kind of add in a couple different things here that are a little bit like, I don't know about that, like a Metroid spin-off and stuff like that. But you never know. That's the thing. You never know. There's always at least one or two of these anonymous posts before a show that actually get a number of things right. It happened many times before, like with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. There was a whole leak on what that game was going to be, certain E3s and stuff like that. So I found this one to be the most believable, but they're trying really hard. Maybe they have a little bit of information and made up some other bits of information, but either way, it's lining up with what Jeffrey Grubb had to say in terms of the timing of it, right? Between the 11th and the 22nd. This one says August 17th. So we're going to have to wait and see. I have heard myself that it's going to be August, that we're going to get something. Nintendo has stated themselves that they're going to have more partner mini showcases, or they'll have more information later. So at some point, Nintendo's going to say something. I would think that August would probably be the month of that happening. So this is going to be an interesting month, right? This is going to be a very interesting month with some of the other stuff that's going on with PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X too. So what do you guys think about what's going on here? Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the links in the description. We've got Twitter. Go and give us a follow on there. Stay up to date on all latest gaming news and information. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you can. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you for the next one. Peace.